Welcome, race fans, to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Emerson Arden on the call with Cody, and we are back with Speed Racing Network action here in the Speed Racing Network Steel Designs and Graphics series here for Season 8 of Speed Racing Network action. We are here with the B car on the iRacing.com motorsport simulations platform, and I am glad to be back. Have a new partner in the booth with me. Not new to y'all, new to me. Cody, welcome. And we're getting ready for the first heat race of the night here at Daytona. Any thoughts as we head into the first race of the 12 race season we have coming up?
Yeah, I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to finally. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm glad that we're going to work together this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this season goes.
Absolutely. Can't wait for it to get kicked off here. And while we are here at the World Center of Racing, we will go through our starting lineup as we work our way onto the formation lap. A nice long starting lineup for us. And here we go. And so, here for the heat race, it looks like it's only one heat race tonight for the 13-car field here at Daytona. So let's go through it. On the front row, it's the Nova Scotian Max Service. Out there on the front row, Jay King will start to his outside. Row 2, we'll find Joe Ruggles and Robert Richardson. Abby Greathouse will round out the top 5. David Davis will start 6th. Connor Cunningham will start 7th. And Troy Techmeyer will start 8th. Cody, why don't you take us to the last 3 rows?
The last 3 rows. Sorry. You need to do that. I
No
apologize.
problem. Matthew Cornell will start 9. Dan Park will round out the top 10. Jason Green, 11. It'll be Daniel Baldler starting 12th. And Andrew Harris, shotgun on the field there in the 13th starting position. We are getting ready to rock here at the Daytona International Speedway. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming out and tuning in, joining us for the start of a new season here in Speed Racing Network competition. I want to give a shout out to all of our partners here at SRN, along with Premier Racing Setups. You also have Thermo Pro Meat Thermometers and Zozo Mini. And so here we go for the new season here. The iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety down the pit lane, the field in the hands of the 81 of Max Service. And green flag is in the air, racing here from Daytona.
The excitement's in the air.
Down the back straightaway, the field starting to get settled in their respective lines. It's Ruggles on the rear end of the 81 machine, and Jay King getting a good push up on the outside from Robert Richardson. And so King now drops down to the inside, and King will be the leader as he head through turns 3 and 4. Big run for Daniel Baldler up the middle. Here comes that 6 machine. It's a 10-lap heat race, and Baldler wasted no time getting his way to the front. He'll shove the 5 machine of Richardson forward, and Robert Richardson leads lap 1 of the heat race.
They're actually racing really strong right now, and the fact they were 3 wide, it shows that they really want this for this 10-lap race.
Absolutely. Now down on the inside, the momentum falls to the 19 and the 81 machines of Jay King and Max Service. And now here we go down the back straightaway, that longer straightaway, that earlier throttle point to the rear end of the 5 machine is the 6 of Daniel Baldler, and Richardson continues to make progress on that outside lane. And you'll see the ebb and flow of the field all day long here at Daytona. As they go into the corners, the bottom lane starts to become the dominant lane. As they come out of the corners, if the push is great from that 2nd and 3rd machine in line, then you'll see the 3rd lane really have its say here at Daytona. And so right now, the top 2, Jay King on the inside and Robert Richardson on the outside, their entire running position is determined on how well the line is organized behind them and how good of a push the 81 of Max Service can give the 19, or the 6 of Daniel Baldler can give Robert Richardson.
Like you were saying, the lines, if they don't stay in the straight line, then they're not going to get the right connection, and then they're just not going to get everything momentum-wise. That outside line right now is working really well together.
Yes, they are. Daniel Baldler wasted no time to get up there, and there's a reason. Daniel Baldler in that 6 machine, he is someone who's going to be uber aggressive in this race. Is right on board with the 6 machine. Now he goes up high now to the outside of the 5 machine. Where will Baldler go? Rewind now. Techmeyer down on the inside, and that's going to really break up the momentum on the outside. But here comes Andrew Harris to save the 6 of Daniel Baldler. That may have been a calculated move, as the 5 will now find himself in the sucker hole. Richardson does. And again, this is just a heat race. This just sets the starting lineup. Lots of good learning opportunities here. This is what is doubling as our Daytona. Oh, we have a car sideways. And around goes the 5. Robert Richardson into the grass, contacted by Joe Ruggles. They'll go careening off the front straightaway grass, and hard into the outside wall is the 96 of Ruggles. As 2 cars come together hard in the front straightaway tri-oval grass, Richardson now powers away and makes more contact with the 96. And their starting positions will be well down the running order for both Ruggles and Richardson. Back up front, Daniel Baldler has taken it to the lead. To the point goes the 6 machine.
Matthew Greathouse was not in the summer league, so I don't have any information on him, but I look forward to seeing what he does this season.
Yeah, Matthew Greathouse, a very consistent driver here in Speed Racing Network competition. Really wanted to have a better outcome last season, but Greathouse continues to be a force. See, week in and week out here in SRN, we'll look to see no different here at Daytona as we start season 8. It's Jay King on the inside with Max Service in tow. Daniel Baldler and Andrew Harris on the top side. 4 cars lined up nose to tail here at the front end of the field. Jason Green Greathouse on the outside, and Troy Techmeyer and Connor Cunningham on the inside. 5 to go. This time that'll be 4 to go here in the heat race here at Daytona. To start off, the Speed Racing Network Steel Performance Design and Graphics Series here at Speed Racing Network. That time, give the lead to the 19 of King. Baldler now really organized there on the outside. Harris and Baldler, long time Speed Racing Network competitors. They have been racing season in, season off. Baldler there since the beginning, since MSM, prior to SRN, 9-10 seasons ago. Daniel Baldler has been here in SRN, and contact there. The 87 catches the 6 just a little wrong, but they'll hang tight. We stay green out in front, but Baldler and Harris, the aggression ramping up on that outside lane. Will Service and King reciprocate that aggression?
So far, so good. They are just driving on 55, just went on the outside. I thought they were going to go 3 wide, but they don't have enough people.
Jason Green trying to make something happen. No one following suit with the 55 machine. Greathouse goes down the inside. Baldler now, the advantage through the center of 3 and 4. More jostling sideways is the 87, and Harris is going to go around. Man, multiple cars around. Greathouse around. Green slowing off the pace. Techmeyer off the pace. Connor Cunningham back here as well. We found our way back up front. It is Jay King, Max Service, Daniel Baldler, the top 3, all within 0.2 of a second. Everyone else over a second behind. If they're going to have any say in this finish outside of these top 3, those 2 have to link up now, and they're racing each other. And so this is going to come down to these top 3 with a lap and a half to go in the heat race. 1 lap to go here in the qualifying heat from Daytona. Jay King leads Max Service and Daniel Baldler. Round this race, 2.5 mile tri-oval in Daytona Beach, Florida. Virtual, that is. Baldler laying back, trying to get a run. Service cannot stay connected to that 19. Do they have anything for Jay King? The final time down the back straightaway. No movement. King steady out in front as he sails off into turns 3 and 4. Off of turn 4, Service, Baldler, they cannot get there. Service pulls out now. Here comes Baldler, a push of the line, and Service wins the heat race.
That was awesome. They
Oh,
raced
my
really
goodness.
hard there.
Certainly. And so Max Service is your pole sitter tonight here for the Speed Racing Network Steel Graphics and Design Series Season 8 here. Season opener at Daytona. So here we go, the heat race concluding. We are just waiting on the rest of them. There's Richardson, and we'll transition our way into the 100 lap feature, if you will, here at the Daytona International Speedway. That was a very quick 1 week between the Daytona Duel and the race. And I'll lend it to you, Cody, then. Would you like to go through the starting lineup here?
Yeah, I would love to. I will. Just give me one moment. Okay, so. I can't. It's not. Okay. When they start moving, I can give you the starting lineup. I'm not sure
No
what's
problem.
going on with
We'll
the
go ahead
screen.
and do it here, then. Once again, the Nova Scotian Max Service qualifies fastest in single car qualifying. He rounds the field up in the duel. It'll be Max Service starting first. Jay King will start second. Daniel Baldler then in third. Matthew Cornell will start fourth. Dan Park will start in fifth. David Davis will start sixth. Connor Cunningham starts seventh. Troy Techmeyer rounds out row number 4. Matthew Greathouse will start ninth. Andrew Harris then in P10. Jason Green will start 11th. Robert Richardson in 12th. And shotgun on the field will be the 96 of Joe Ruggles, looking to have a better fate from the duel to here. So out onto the
Some of
grid
these
goes
guys
the
are
field.
Some of these guys that had bad luck, they're going to definitely be pacing themselves this race.
Well, that's a
I
good thing,
wanna
right?
apologize.
That we had the heat race. Everyone kind of gets a free stab at it, 10 laps, go as hard as you can, learn what you can. Because it's only a 13-car field, and Max Service, I don't believe he gridded. So Max Service is starting this race from the pit lane. And so I'm not sure if this is intentional or if he was penalized. I doubt he got a penalty. I don't think he did anything wrong in the heat race. But nonetheless, that promotes everyone in the inside lane up one spot. And so third place starter Daniel Baldler is now the de facto pole sitter here at Daytona. A late breaking story there before we get going tonight here at the Daytona International Speedway. It'll be intriguing to see how this plays. So here we go. The iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety down in the pit lane, the field in the hands then of Daniel Baldler. And we are getting ready to go green here from the Daytona International Speedway. Baldler, King, the front row, green flag in the Speed Racing Network Steel Graphics and Design Series Season 8 here from Daytona.
That inside line right now is working really well together. Oh, they're dropping back. 7. Of Daniel Park. Connor Cunningham.
Lap 1 complete here from Daytona. You did see some jostling for position. A couple drivers drop out there on the back straightaway, but Daniel Baldler out in front. He holds the lead here at Daytona. Baldler over King, Greathouse, Cordell, Green, Davis, Harris, Techmeyer, Richardson, Ruggles, Park, Cunningham, and Service the field. So waiting for scoring to catch up here because it says that Service is 2 laps down, that we're on lap 4. That is not the case. This is lap 2. But 3 wide there in the heart of the field nonetheless. It's King in the middle, and up high is Cornell. Greathouse now a good shove to the 6. Cornell files back in line behind the 19, or does he? The 11 of David Davis trying to see if he'll play friendly here early at Daytona. So everyone kind of working their way in line.
Is from the summer league, I've seen him. He's one to watch in a race like this. All these guys are.
Scoring is up today. We are now also displaying lap number 3 on our end as well. So Baldler works the field here, trying to play the leader role here. He'll maybe, well, and he won't. He'll stay there on the bottom lane as the outside lane gets momentum. But Baldler understands that the momentum is going to be with that bottom side today. And he'll continue to work that bottom until that outside lane just gets overly straightened out and organized. That's the word, organized, to really get some momentum on that high side right now. King has momentum at the stripe, but only pusher behind him is Cornell. I believe Baldler wanting to ride with a driver he knows in Matthew Greathouse, but King gets that push out in front and contact. Cornell, Baldler going around the 55, trying to hang on. Everyone saves it. But that's going to really break the field up.
It broke the field up, but these guys if they can all get together, they can catch that start of that pack.
So we'll take a replay here. Actually, we'll go and we'll do that opportunity now. But what was really happening there was King was going down, and it just was not happening for Cornell. Cornell was not going to find his way down there, so everyone came together. And you'll see that that's what happened here, and so we'll see what the one replay we'll get of this. King gets the lead. This is a lap ahead. My apologies. Here we are. You come across the stripe. You'll see King is clear. King will drop down here in front of Baldler, but unbeknownst maybe to Cornell that there was not enough room to file in behind the 19, and he comes down on Daniel Baldler. The 55 is contacted by the 87 in the rear end, but using that apron, that transition into banking, everyone is a-okay, and we continue on here at Daytona. So back to live action here at Daytona. There they are, the field, as David Davis is your race leader here. Robert Richardson is second. Jay King is third. And the battle now is everyone else from fourth on back is lined up trying to catch the top 3 as we work lap 6 of 100 here at Daytona.
I just want to say that's impressive that there was like no wrecks at all. Like these guys just gave it their all, and now they're just still going, and they're gonna keep trying to catch that front pack, which if they do it well, they should be able to catch that first pack.
We're on board with Cornell, and really what you're looking for is that gap for the 4th place driver Daniel Baldler. Baldler's gap to the race leader Richardson is right now staying relatively stagnant at 4.2 seconds, but Cornell is not getting lined up behind that 6 machine effectively enough to get them any closer. Maybe they grab a 10th there, and around goes the 22, and hard at the outside wall goes the 22 into 51 on its side. Matthew Greathouse up and over here at Daytona, and Greathouse will be done, and no yellow flag as a result of that incident. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a replay of that one, and there's a caution. Oh, we get the replay, but the 22 of Cornell looks like he was having trouble committing to a lane, and you'll see it here kind of bite him. So Cornell is up high. Greathouse fills the hole. Cornell comes down with a driver to his inside, and unfortunately Greathouse nowhere to go, and a 55 of Jason Green, and Greathouse a full 360 and no more of a front end for that 51 machine. So his season opener already comes to a close. Curtains for the 51 machine
at lap 11.
I understand both drivers going for the space here. I understand it from Greathouse's perspective. He sees that the 22 is just not an effective pusher. The 22 is struggling to get in line, but it is lap 11. You have to understand that drivers are still getting warmed up to this. Also a big hit to the 87 machine. So I can see it. The 22 maybe also isn't sure yet. Still getting drafting experience in terms of trying to make sure the car doesn't overheat. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, but ultimately, neither of it ends up good for anyone.
Plus, it's a B car, and they're very touchy. So when you don't touch bumpers correctly, it just, like in the trucks and stuff like that, you'll be fine a bit, but in the B car, not so much.
Well, I think I don't even think it was bumpers. This one I think it was quarter panel to front bumper, maybe, but
yes.
But ultimately just a lot of aggression really early in this race on lap 9. You know, I'm not really lap 7, because the race control threw to caution a little late on lap 8. So really it was like lap 7 we're doing this. So man, it's difficult, right? I've been there. I've been a driver in Greathouse's position, understanding that we've got to go. If we have any chance of catching the leaders, we're gonna have to really get strung up and organized here. But I don't know. It's just a very difficult position that everyone was put in there. Pit lane is open, and the takers: Baldler, Techmeyer, Cunningham, Park, Green, and Service, alongside the drivers receiving repairs, and Harris, Greathouse, and Cornell. 4 drivers stay out. It's Robert Richardson, Jay King, David Davis, and Joe Ruggles out on the track. Connor Cunningham does a straight pass through the pit lane. It'll be Baldler, then, I guess, technically second on the race out of pit lane, the Cunningham. Down and away is Daniel Park, then Techmeyer.
And then the rest are...
It would be Service and Green. Service down and away, so just Jason Green, who was damaged in that incident. You're right. And so this will be a great opportunity for us to take our first break of the day. We're going to take this moment to leave a quick message to our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Don't you go anywhere. The action continues on the far side of the break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Daytona International Raceway. Emerson Arden with Cody alongside on the call. The first caution period wrapping up. We're getting ready for the restart. Let's head down trackside as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down the pit lane. The field in the hands of Robert Richardson. Green flag. India Racing resumes from Daytona.
Jason Green is falling back out of the draft. Maybe he has damage, too much of it.
Yeah, Jason Green doing the most he can, but looks like he's going to need a car behind him if he's really going to have a say in this one. So Jason Green, you mentioned it right there, over a second back off the pack already. Might be a very lonely race for that 55 machine. Back out front, Robert Richardson, the pole man right now, the driver out in front, the man on the point. And the 11 of David Davis with the pushes, the assistance, to the rear end of the 5 car. It's Baldwin High with Max Service up there on the high side. They were going against each other in the duel up until the very end of the duel. Did Daniel Butler give Max Service the go-ahead push to take the pole position tonight here at the season opener of the Speed Racing Network Steel Graphic and Design Series. And now Max Service, a clean shove to the rear end of the 6 machine of Butler. But there's no other organization over help for that top side. The 19 is out there, Jay King, but he's not close enough to make a difference. And so even though Max Service is giving really efficient pushes up on that high side, it's no match for the amount of cars, the amount of energy that is built up there on the inside lane. Richardson now heads it. You see Davis, Techmeyer, Park, Cunningham down there online, and Ruggles. So it's a 3-man push up on the high side. They've made some ground, and if Service continues to commit to that push, you know, you can really make some hay, but man, it's still a tall ask with only 2 cars versus 6. I guess 4 are organized, and the rest are just kind of hanging out. This is lap 15 of 100 here, Cody. This is a long race, not a big field. What's going through your mind here if you're kind of in the middle of this pack, like a Dan Park, a Connor Cunningham, a Ruggles?
Well, what would be going through my mind is trying to conserve the race. Don't try and overdo it. Stay near the back. Be there at the end. You don't want to be involved in the wrecks. You want to be further back just because there could be wrecks later on. So basically, you want to stay mid-pack or back, and you want to have a friend with you, so at the end of the race, you can move through that field. But right now, it's too early to go. at lap 16 out of 100.
That it is. I do agree. So lap 16 of 100 here in the Speed Racing Network Steel Graphics and Design Series here on Speed Racing Network. Season 8 of action commences today with the season opener. Robert Richardson, the man out in front, but Daniel Baldler, a big head of steam from the outside lane. Max Service, the Nova Scotian, providing the bump. And Baldler there now. To the second car on the inside lane, needs a little bit more help. King has gotten there, and Ruggles now joins the party. As they wiggle through
With the momentum on the bottom.
Yeah. Momentum's still on the bottom, but that outside lane getting a little more organized, which is all benefits towards Baldler and Service heading it. Robert Richardson continues to lead here at the Daytona International Speedway, but big bump now. Service into that rear end of Baldler. They'll be heading down the back straightaway. The 11 can't be connected to the 5, and Daniel Baldler to the point as he heads into turn 3, not clear of the 5 machine, but big head of steam for the 6. Richardson fights back on the inside. Now 5 cars lined up on the outside now as Dan Park and Connor Cunningham, the champion of the Summer Series, jumps to that high side, and Baldler gets that lap led. A little bit of a wiggle there through the center of the tri-oval. Now, I did not have the opportunity or the pleasure to be here during the Summer Series, but Cody, you did. Tell me about Connor Cunningham's run through that summer stretch there in, I believe it was the ARCA machine.
It was. I was very amazed when I came to this league to do this announcing, and I was I went and watched some races that I missed before when it started because I didn't come till mid-season, but I seen Connor Cunningham, and then I learned from him, watching him, and I seen all the others, and this league, these drivers outperform each other, and they don't wreck a lot, but this league is amazing just to have drivers respect one another.
I agree there. What I also agree with is Park Brothers Racing is 1, 2, and 3. Max Service, Daniel Park, and Connor Cunningham have all lined up nose to tail, and they have decided they want control of this race. Max Service was involved in the Cup Series season opener in Season 5 with myself and the rest of our Tank Racing teammates, where we went 1 through 6 in that race. We controlled the race, leading 72 of the 80 laps in that race. I imagine that's what these drivers are trying to do now at a Park Brothers Racing. Baldler now, kind of a lone wolf up here. He works at the outside of Jay King. Not a whole lot of affiliation going on up here. Take a look. Really have Jay King and Ruggles. That's the next affiliation, but from there, Baldler's teammate, Jason Green, does not have the power to really keep that machine up here.
What I've noticed too, Service is very, very good at what he does, and I'm kind of shocked that the two of them went on the high side there, but they got the momentum, so I think I guess they're going back a bit.
Couple ways to play this, right? Maybe they're all going for a lap lead. Let Connor get that lap lead, maybe then go into the back. Maybe they assumed that if 3 of them went up there, that the rest of the field would join them up there, and they could kind of control the race, control the pace on the high side. So now they have kind of put themselves in a bind. I believe Connor did get that lap, but now Daniel Park rising back to the occasion with a push from Max Service. Has anyone joined them up there, though? How strong they are. And now Connor's in the same Discord as them, same communication line. Maybe Connor could back the field up as well and let them back in line, which very much I think is what's happening right here. Oh man, and he does. But
he was barely clear.
Yeah, it looks like a now or never kind of drop there for Max Service, but he gets in, files in behind the 7 machine of Daniel Park, and here we are then, the top 5: Daniel Park, Max Service, Connor Cunningham, Jay King, Joe Ruggles. 6th is Troy Techmeyer. 7th, Daniel Baldler. 8th, Robert Richardson. 9th, David Davis. still running,
and
10th place. Jason Green, he's 41 seconds off the lead, and will be the next driver.
Here.
Yeah, should be approaching lap status here, a couple laps for that 55 machine. Updates from the back end of the field. Andrew Harris in 11th is out. Matthew Cornell is out, and Matthew Greathouse is out as well in 13th. There's the Park Brothers trio. They have gone up high, and they are commanding the pace now. It'll be interesting to see, does anyone jump up there? Baldler does. But man, the top three, if they can really get lined up here, they can really separate this field. Looks like they are not as organized as they'd like to be, Park, Service, and Cunningham. But Baldler sees what they're doing. Baldler is smart enough to know he's got to jump up there, and he does. Make that 4 cars lined up, the Park Brothers Racing Trio plus Baldler. And something magical could happen there if they really get their act together. They could do something about the rest of these guys. And Baldler now dives down, no help, trying to get all 3 of them. And a little bit of a draft off of Jason Green. Baldler trying to make something happen, goes to the middle, 3 wide around the lapper. Baldler now trying to take the lead by himself. To no avail now, no help. They'll have to fall back to Jay King, who finds himself even off the top 4 down the high side. Techmeyer now trying to hang up there in that 4th position, or 4th car on the outside, 5th position. Can't do it now. Baldler finds himself some help. Jay King in the 19 machine approaches the rear end of the 6 car, and they will look to do the tango down on the inside, of a little bit of help of Joe Ruggles. Also featuring themselves in the pack there is Richardson and Davis towards the rear end. Now they jump up on the high side, and looking now, the trend, the power, and the pace looks to head themselves up towards the high side. Richardson now tries to drop down low, but I think there's just too strong of a head with this outside train here, Cody, to really dismantle it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, I mean, the bottom's starting to work right now. They're starting to go right to the lead.
We'll see here, huge push from the 11 of Davis, Service, Cunningham, Park, all kind of caught off guard. And now to the middle goes Baldler, and all of a sudden, Park Brothers Racing thought they had control of the field. They find themselves going back. It's the 5 and the 11. Richardson and Davis to the point now. Robert Richardson back to the lead here at Daytona as we reach the 1/4 mark of tonight's race.
This is what you love about Daytona and stuff, is anyone can come from anywhere and make something happen. We were not even talking about Davis really much until now.
Look now, maybe
Look at
Techmeyer.
He's in
He's
third.
thinking. He's feeling. Roy Techmeyer.
Yeah, I think he might stay with these guys. I wouldn't see why he'd want to kind of go on the outside yet. It's way too early. You just want to kind of ride this out for a bit.
We are also working 100% fuel loads here, Cody. And why is that important? And that's because the field here, 4 of them stayed out on that most recent caution, plus Connor Cunningham, I guess, so 5. The other 5 did pit. So half the field is going to be able to go 9 to 10 laps longer on fuel than the other half. And that'll be interesting because there's a split amongst teammates as well. In terms of Connor Cunningham, he did not pit unless he came back down. I think he did, actually. That's 10 on his. And up the track now is the 5 of Richardson and Davis on the high side. Techmeyer down low. Techmeyer with little help. Techmeyer to the point. Troy Techmeyer, the longtime Speed Racing Network veteran, finds himself down on the inside and leading here at Daytona. 3 wide behind Troy Techmeyer, snacks himself a lap lead. Daniel Baldler up the middle with no help. Baldler trying to clear to the lead. No help now for the 6 machine. The 19 of Jay King losing traction. Everyone behind is struggling for grip.
tire wear is real here.
That is true. So the top two side by side then, and Baldler and Techmeyer with no help. All their help is trying to hang on to their tires. 3 wide now for a third. Ruggles down low. Park up high. Park now to the rear end of the 6. King trying to file in line behind the 7. No can do. Service down low. Now King trying to squeeze Service. Cunningham blows by on the outside. Baldler leads the lap. Park behind. Here comes Connor Cunningham. Baldler clears down low. Now Park and Cunningham nose to tail on the high side. Techmeyer comes up to do a little side trap. Baldler goes up to head the outside. Service now trying to find himself going forward. He's trapped behind Ruggles. King finds themselves the 4th car on the outside lane. Ruggles now goes to the middle. They go 3 wide again for a third. Techmeyer down low. Cunningham up high. Ruggles through the middle. Dan Park drops from the high side to the low side. The attic to the basement. And the 7 goes to the race lead.
This Park machine, he's very strong tonight.
He is. Huge run there. Ruggles to the rear end of the 7. Baldler, very strong as well. Now heads to 78. Baldler drops down low. Cunningham now leads the high side with Jay King. Up high now goes Park.
Service is trying to side draft. No, that's not Service. I apologize.
Service is that 4th car on the inside, and you gotta think Service does want to get up there and join his teammates, but Park's in the wall. 3 wide now. Cunningham to the middle. Cunningham backs off. Cunningham back in line. Baldler now down low. Big push, maybe, from Ruggles. Waiting for that push on the 96, but Baldler heads the momentum. He got out of turn 4 to the lead again. Now, Cunningham and Park lined up. Ruggles looks like he's not able to push that 6 machine. And the wick has turned up here with 70 laps to go.
If they keep racing like this, they may not make it to lap 100.
See if we can make it to the first pit stop at this rate.
Oh, right.
So Jay King down low now. No help for the 19. Maybe help coming out of the 6. Service finds himself 5 cars back. And Techmeyer and Ruggles now to the middle is Baldler. Baldler now trying to get around the 19. He gets around the 19. Now heads up racing with the 7. Baldler and Park neck and neck out in front of the field.
The bottom line is working really well right now.
That it is. This looks like a lot of fun right now. These drivers, I think that's ultimately what they're having, what you should be having. In a race like this, there's not a whole lot to, really detriment, right? Have some fun with it. 9 cars out here. Everyone's kind of playing their own role. Everyone's kind of giving each other room. Have some fun with it. That's what Baldler's doing. That's what the Park Brothers trio's doing. I'd say the same about King and Ruggles. Maybe Richardson Davis, they're laying a little back, kind of letting it all happen. But I think everyone in the top 7, they're all just kind of here for fun right now. Kind of playing it out, seeing where it goes. Some aggression, but nothing over the top, I don't think, in terms of, it's a race. It's a race, right? Now Baldler gives up the lead, dropping back. So, we'll see how it goes. But ultimately, I am very intrigued to see the likes of Jay King and Joe Ruggles, who are the front 2, and Robert Richardson and David Davis, the back 2, where they pit, because those are the ones who did not pit under the caution. And Cody, if 100% fuel loads, I imagine that pit stop is coming up relatively soon. I would say probably in the ballpark of 5 to 10 laps from now, we could see that first fuel stop for drivers who did not stop under the yellow, and maybe tack on another 5-ish, 7 laps for the drivers who did stop under that yellow.
Yeah, yes, so basically what you're saying, the ones that need to pit because they didn't pit, yeah, they had to strategize this together, and then they have to have a clean pit stop. They have to get in pits, get their fuel, get tires, get out if they want tires, and then they have to worry about the pack that already pitted when they didn't, because if they don't do this right, they're not going to be on the lead lap for long, and their night is going to be very tough to get back through when it's all said and done.
And here's what I see time and time again with these plate races when it comes to two separate strategies, Cody. One strategy or one team gets it right, one team thinks they have it right, and it just goes all wrong on the pit stop. And that's ultimately what's going to be. Who, even if it looks like the losing strategy, you're right. It's all about the organizational pit road. Who can get in and out of the box cleaner? If you're going to go tires, who can time it up right? You know, right now, typically tires is not a thought at these plate tracks, but you've seen the way some of these drivers are losing grip tonight, Cody. Is 2 tires a play? Do you have to go all 4? Is it that left rear tire? What tire is giving you that trouble? Ultimately, you won't find out if you make the pit stop. The drivers, the way they're spreading out now, I imagine there's maybe some communication going on, as the field has also very much simmered out in terms of the aggression level that we were seeing about 5 laps ago.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to plan with people at their pit stops right now. They're trying to get their setup down right. And yeah, they're just going to figure this out together. And they're going to make moves, and they're going to see what other people do too.
So it really looks like Robert Richardson, David Davis, they're the 2 that have stuck nose to tail pretty much the entire first stint of this race. I would look for those 2 to make the first move to pit road, the first organized move to pit road, I should say. Jay King and Joe Ruggles, they by no other means have to pit together, because they're the only 2 up front who have not pitted today. And so we are going to see now how everyone else piles. And due to the Park Brothers trio clue in a driver like Troy Techmeyer or Daniel Baldler, because they're on the same strategy, that also could be a play. And that also might be dependent on how well they pit. Honestly, if I'm the Park Brothers trio, I don't say anything on the radio until I see the 4 drivers who have not pitted, how they pit, how organized they get. If they're organized, then I clue in the other 2. If they're not organized, it's not necessarily a necessity to clue in the other 2 drivers.
Exactly. And also, when you go on the pit road here, it's different. It's a different animal altogether as well, because you're going right into the pits from the, like, out of turn 4. You got to make sure you don't get a speeding penalty as well. You have to slow down to pit road speed, but it's sometimes very difficult to get to that speed.
Yeah, 60 miles an hour, a little bit of a 5-mile-an-hour grace to real life, is the pit lane speed here at Daytona on the iRacing.com motorsport simulations platform. But you have to imagine, when you are running 180, 190 all the way around the track, right now they're tracking 185, running all the way around the track, it is going to be quite the culture shock to those who don't often go from 180 to 60 miles an hour, which, you know, how often do you do that?
Not often.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of, right, is like a heavy braking zone at like a road course, like a Road America, turn 1. That's ultimately like the only chance that I see drivers going from 180 to 60.
Right. I'm just wondering when these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't pitted yet. But
right,
I feel like they're gonna soon.
How much can you go on the tank? Now, the one thing to note is the drivers who did not pit do have 3 full caution laps of saving fuel, which the general rule of thumb that you hear all the time with these older style cars is that 1 caution lap gives you 2 laps. It's like 2 caution laps equals 1 green flag lap of fuel consumption. So you can tack on another lap and a half of fuel allowance. But what I'm noticing here, Cody, there's a gap forming up here with Baldler, Park. They have not closed up here with Park and Cunningham. I don't know if maybe they're just laying back or allowing something to happen, or there's some fuel saving going on. That could be another thing, right? If you're close to making a number, could you make it a one stop from here to the end? I believe everyone should be able to make it a one stop from here to the end, whether or from the first pit stop. But maybe there's a ploy where you can maybe take 2 tires at the end, or half or 1 full can of fuel. That's another thing, right? That when it comes down to every little bit, you have to think that iRacing does simulate adding on a few extra seconds from when you go from one fuel tank to the next. When you're saying on the pit box, every little bit counts. If you think about that number, right? You're looking, these tanks are what, 18.9 gallons, 19 gallons. So if you can stay at 9.5 gallons for that final pit stop, you don't have to take 2 gas cans of fuel. You don't have to take 1, which saves you time stopped in the pit box.
Exactly.
See here, I see some tail lights lighting up with some backfire. Any moves to pit road? I see Dan kind of just juggling around, not really making any commitment there. But Dan has that extra fuel. I have to wonder if the pace is slowed down because maybe the 4 drivers who have not pitted, who did not pit or that caution, are trying to save some fuel, try to make a number closer to the ones who did. But if they slow the pace down of everyone, then the other drivers are also saving fuel. So it's a lot of mind games right now. And when you have a race like this here at Daytona, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get mind games. You see Park and Cunningham now, excuse me, go to that high side. Techmeyer is up there as well. Techmeyer catches the wall in that 32 machine, and I think that's what's happening. I think Park, and here comes Jay King, and all 4 of them who did not pit under the caution come in now. Joe Ruggles. Jay King hard in the inside pit wall. My goodness.
This is what I was talking about when you go to pit, and if you don't do it right, it will come back to bite you.
100%. So there's David Davis, Robert Richardson, Joe Ruggles. He had a very smooth pit entry, but Ruggles lost a lot of time on that pit entry. So, seeing how everyone comes out. Down and away is the 11 and the 5. And the 96. And so, here you are, Cody. You have 2 drivers who nailed it, 2 drivers who did not. And your group of 4 all of a sudden is a group of 2.
Yeah, they will have to work together extremely well. They're going to have to push each other, and they're just going to have to wait for the rest of the field to pit and hope that they can catch that field once they come back out. Or a caution.
So now here's that other thing I was mentioning, Cody. Now, if you're to park brothers, the 7, the 78, and the 81, you don't have to key up and clue in the 32 and the 6 as to when you're pitting. If you 3 nail your pit stop, you'll have more muscle than any other group on the racetrack.
Exactly, and there would be no reason to want to include anyone else to come into the pits with you at this rate.
You see here now what Davis and Richardson did do nicely is they have tacked on to that lead pack, so that is going to be huge in terms of them staying, keeping pace. Now, they are ultimately not going to have any other help from Jay King, who is still in the pit lane, and Joe Ruggles is all by himself. No, he's not. Joe Ruggles has found Jason Green, actually. Joe Ruggles, essentially his race is over without a yellow.
Exactly. It all matters how you've got to be able to slow down when you get off turn 4, and from that speed, if you don't do it well with the tire wear and stuff, you're going to spin like we've seen. So that was unfortunate for that group.
Yeah, Jay King just very aggressive on that pit entry. Let's see if we have the opportunity to take a replay of it. We can. So here we go with the replay.
That's awesome. I would love to see it.
Coming down the pit lane. Here they come. And just way too fast. And, you know, he drops it down a gear trying to slow down the car. But, I mean, he braked way too fast. We'll take an onboard replay as well. I think that'll be interesting. Let's see how he did here.
I get actually interested in that too.
Yeah, he dropped from third to second to first in about 1 second, and the rear end did not like that at all. He wheel hopped essentially. That's what he did coming to pit road.
That's not a good feeling.
No. Back up front, Dan Park leads this field. Connor Cunningham in tow, Techmeyer, Baldwin Service, the top 5. Give it up to David and David Davis and Robert Richardson. They're gonna get their lap back the old-fashioned way. And for the other 5, there's no real point in contesting that because they can let them get out in front and then just ride with them, and their time advantage really doesn't change. But if a caution were to happen in some magical way at this point of the race, Davis and Richardson are back in it, and the free pass goes to Ruggles. So, in theory, David Davis leading the pack, Dan Park leading the race.
At least they're back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's huge. Again, so should a caution happen magically, or should this group of 5 who still has yet to pit wad them up coming to pit road, and somebody gets back into iRacing detection on the racing surface, then they're back in business as well. So it's a waiting game here from the Daytona International Speedway. 2 laps shy, or a lap and a half at this point, shy of halfway. It's been a fun one. We have the early caution on lap number 7. The contact between Matthew Cornell and Matthew Greathouse, taking themselves and Andrew Harris out of the event. Then the first green flag pit stop of the day on lap number 42. Saw Jay King wheel hop coming to pit lane and nose it into the inside barrier. Jason Green also involved in that lap 7 caution, and Green finds himself with a damaged race car, hoping for the best at this point, 2 laps down. Joe Ruggles, unfortunately, just a little slow on his pit entry, and he finds himself off of the lead pack and 1 lap off the pace tentatively. He'll get back onto the lead lap when the top 5 do pit, but for Ruggles, he is going to need a game changer, one relatively fast. Out in front, the top 5, Daniel Park, the race leader from Connor Cunningham, Troy Techmeyer, Daniel Baldler, and Max Service. First, second, and 5th are teammates, all lined up, looking maybe the pit separate of the 6 and 32. Techmeyer and Baldler, long-time veterans here in SRN. Techmeyer and Baldler. So that is where we are at halfway here in the Speed Racing Network Steel Graphics and Designs Series Season 8 season opener here from the Daytona International Speedway in virtual Daytona Beach, Florida. Park leads, and we await for the second pit stop for the top 5.
I'm excited to see how they pit all together, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they all can make it back out as a group. Oh, no, I thought they were going.
Yeah, not entirely sure what happened there, but I do see Baldler and Service are losing a little bit of touch, and they've got to pick it up here if they're going to want any part of this. So Baldler and Service is paying attention. I think Baldler maybe trying to make Service lose the draft. Service, I'll have the benefit of catching the 11 and the 5 draft as well. Service still in it, but Service, if he's going to pit with the top 2 in this line, Service is going to have a monster pit entry.
he is if he's that far as far back as he is, because if you don't get close enough, then you're at risk of not being with them at the exit of pit road at the end of the pit stop.
Jason Green is in, and he's been running around by himself. I imagine that means relatively soon is when we'll see the top 5 in. Jason Green just gets standard service or anything else, and it'll be standard service down and away for the 55 machine. Jay King in the 19 is still in the pit lane, and his competitive night is over, and we'll see if his night is officially over soon. Turn 4, no motion from the top 5. What I see here is Connor Cunningham has really turned up the wick, pushing teammate Dan Park out in front of Techmeyer and Baldler.
Maybe they have a strategy that they're going to pit and they don't want others to know, and they're trying to get further away.
That, right? And maybe just open up the gap if they're all coming together. We shall see. But Cunningham and Park are organized. Baldler and Techmeyer are not. And I have to imagine, I see the two of Davis and Richardson. They go up high. I imagine pit is coming this time. And there is. The top 5 are coming. Service. A nice pit entry. He'll get around no one. But we'll see there. The top 2, Cunningham gets around Daniel Park. Did everyone make it in at pit road speed? Is the next question. And so
I think they did.
We shall see. As everyone parks in now. For their benefit, all 5 of the drivers who just pitted now are all veterans of the series. And have plenty of experience in doing this. I believe Troy Techmeyer, missed his pit box, and so Techmeyer is going to be in trouble. But Park down and away, Cunningham down and away, Service down and away, and Baldler down and away. So Troy Techmeyer, his race could be in jeopardy, and if the top 3 get lined up here, they could leave Baldler. So we'll see. Cunningham and Service are lined up. Baldler looks like he is going to get tacked on. Baldler's cooking right now, that's for sure. Daniel Park all by himself up front. I think Baldler is going to tack on. And we'll see here. There is Richardson and Davis. This could be huge here. Where do they catch the leaders?
This is big. If they can catch up, then they actually made a really great move earlier.
We'll see now. Service, Baldler, and a little bit of help from Jason Green are lined up nose to tail. Davis and Richardson are about 1.3 seconds back, and Daniel Park leading all by himself. Connor Cunningham also now gapping a little bit to Service. And now Davis and Richardson are in the draft as well. And so Davis and Richardson are alive in this battle. Now, the only downside is they still are offset in the pit cycle by about 12 laps. That part will be interesting.
It will. But if they saved anything, they might be able to make it to the end.
Service has now caught Cunningham. Baldler in tow. David Davis and Robert Richardson fast approaching. And Daniel Park, a sitting duck, is going to let at least his teammates by, and Baldler as well. And here goes the 11 of Davis and Richardson. You know what, Cody? That actually might have been a ploy. Dan Park going out there, yes, letting his teammates by, but he also left nowhere to go for the 11 of David Davis and Robert Richardson to go, and they had a monster run on Cunningham, Service, and Baldler. And so by also giving up the lead. He might have also just helped out his two teammates out in front by not allowing the 5 and the 11 to jump past them there. And so that might have been a dual threat play, or I might just be overselling it. But Cunningham now gives up the lead to Service. I'm not sure if this is a play for radiator temperature, or Cunningham is going to go back to his teammate in Daniel Park. But right now, while everyone's split up, you see Davis, he wants to go. He wants to go with Richardson up the track now to get to the rear end of the 6. Now the 19 of Jay King, he has returned to the racetrack. Service now grabbing some draft. He's going to be a sitting duck now. He catches the 19, or maybe he'll be able to work with the 19 now.
It'll be interesting to see who's going to work with who with these laps winding down.
Yeah, this time I'll be 42 laps to go here from the World Center of Racing, and Service is going to be able to work with Jay King. And so Jay King, he is 13 laps down, but he's making an impact in this race. So now Baldler and David Davis, second and third. We'll see what they can do.
I find it
close the gap
interesting that
now.
Cunningham and Park went back, and then you got you got Richardson and Davis in third and fourth. I think that was a ploy to make this not.
I think so too. Hello?
There we go. Everything's
Okay.
back.
My apologies. There's a little bit of a spike in the area. We are still here. Max Service leads, but here comes David Davis to the point of push from Robert Richardson. And so Davis now trying to slot in. He does in between Service and King, leaving his teammate Richardson up high. And so that's going to split him, but no. Service falls back. Richardson slots in, and we're A-okay.
I'm still here.
Howdy, Cody. How we doing?
Well, I thought I disconnected for a second. Everything's blurry.
That
Sorry.
was on my end. We are A-okay.
But no, this is a great battle. I didn't see this coming from Service and Richardson. Sorry. Davis is up here in first. This is an amazing night so far.
That it is, and so here we are now with 39 laps to go from the Daytona International Speedway. It's David Davis leading Robert Richardson, Max Service, Daniel Butler, Dan Park, Connor Troy Techmeyer, the lead pack. Or excuse me, Cunningham is the end of the lead pack. Techmeyer finds himself 24 seconds off the lead pack by virtue of missing his pit box on the green flag pit stop. Joe Ruggles finds himself 44 seconds off the lead pack by virtue of his slow pit entry, and Ruggles looks to be the next one overlapped by this field now. Ninth place, you'll find 3 laps down. Off the pace is Jason Green, and still holding out hope for Green to get a chaotic finish to the end. And for Jay King and P10, 13 laps down as a result of his pit lane mishap on pit entry on that green flag pit stop. One more stop in this race for the abundance of the field, for everyone in the field actually, as we are at 38 laps to go from the World Center of Racing. Jay King, the driver, the car leading the pack, but David Davis, the leader of the race, the second car in line behind Robert Richardson. And Service trying to string the two along now as the top two really have a nice run of momentum here with the 19 machine as well. And there is Joe Ruggles up up the track also that could be playing a factor into this is Ruggles gets lapped for the first time tonight. So Jay King leads David Davis now past the 96 of Ruggles. So Ruggles falling back now. It'll be interesting to see if Ruggles can tack on to the back of the pack. Ruggles does have a healthy car, but Service, Baldler, Park, and Cunningham are the four back here. The other thing to note is that David Davis and Robert Richardson have 12 laps less fuel than third through sixth. So that is the biggest advantage for Service, for Butler, for Park, and Cunningham. They do not have to race the top two. They just have to stay close to the top two and still have a
what
ploy.
they're doing right now.
And, you know, I have to think, if they can go 46 laps on their tank, they do not have to make a pit stop. They could be fuel saving as well.
Exactly. I was wondering what they were doing, and when you pointed that out, they're definitely fuel saving. They're just letting Davis, Richardson, just kind of use up their fuel.
So a lot of strategy at play here from the World Center of Racing, the virtual Daytona International Speedway, even in this 10-car field that remains. A lot of intrigue is floated throughout the field. Into the final third of the race we go. Lap 67 of 100 up on the boards, this time at the stripe.
And what I'm noticing is the leader's not trying to get around the lap car. I think they're using them as a draft help to save fuel.
100% I agree with that, Cody. I have to think he is not teammates with them. I don't believe. I believe Jay King is teammates with Joe Ruggles. So this is an interesting play there. I do agree with that, Cody.
No one's trying to catch anybody right now, so they're all fuel saving.
David Davis continues to lead here at the Daytona International Speedway.
Richardson is just hanging out too. I think they're just all trying to save fuel. And oh, the 19's moved it. Oh, okay,
man.
moved back down.
Not sure how that's gonna play here. Right on board with Robert Richardson and try to hear the difference there in throttle application. And we'll do the same with Daniel Baldler. I guess they're going about the same speed. That could be either they're both fuel saving, as you mentioned, or that no one's fuel saving. They do get rid of the 19 there of Jay King. So King is shuffled out of line and no longer leads the pack. So that puts Jay King his 14th lap down. And everyone is going to go on by to 19 here. So Jay King had his time out in front, and I mean, his competitive night was already over. But now he finds himself 14 laps down. He'll at least team up with teammate Joe Ruggles. And for Jay King, his plan now would be to keep Joe Ruggles attached to the pack. And should this pack catch Troy Techmeyer, you want to keep Ruggles glued to the pack so Ruggles gets past Techmeyer, and that would give Ruggles the free pass. Here comes the top two. They're pitting now. Can they keep it organized? Davis and Richardson. Here they come. They do. I'll find a dandy.
That was the smoothest pit stop.
And Ruggles in as well.
Ruggles is definitely going to help him.
And King. But we'll see now. So Davis is down and away. Richardson a little ways back. King comes out in between them. And actually will come up behind the 5. So that'll be actually nice. He'll get the 5 going up to the 11. They've got to get organized really quickly here because of the lap disparity between the leaders and them. And so now if you're the leaders, what is the play now? If you can save, what is it? If you can save, so they put on lap 8, 54, so that means they went 46 laps on gas. But a couple of those laps are under caution. So if they can save like 2 green flag laps of gas, Cody, I have to imagine they're close to making it on fuel. Is that the play they go, or do they run as hard as they can, create the gap, and then take a splash at the end? Man, I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be the person that wants to take the splash at the end, but that's just me.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the crew chief.
Yeah, I agree.
So Baldler, Park, Cunningham, no Satel. So Service is running away. Now, I have to wonder if Service is not saving and Baldler is.
Yeah,
because what's going
so
on
many
here?
Different...
And with the damage that Jason Green has, Green is keeping up with the pack. So I have to imagine that everyone else is fuel saving, maybe besides Max Service. I'm not sure what's going on. But Green is able to keep up with them. Which he's not been able to keep up all day, the 55.
Yeah. So, I don't know why Service is not trying to fuel save right now, but these other guys, they're fuel saving.
Service right now, if he keeps his foot on it, he can drive himself away from the pack. And that's what he's doing. Max Service is pulling away from the pack by himself because he is not fuel saving. And you know what? Maybe Baldler is fuel saving. I don't think Park and Cunningham are not. And so this is not going to be an inner strategy battle.
Oh, he's pitting Service.
Here comes Max Service by himself. What, by himself?
On his own.
Oh my goodness, Max, what is going on?
Any chance we can pull him in the booth?
We could.
I would love to after he gets into pit stall.
I'd let him get in and out.
Because I would love to know this move.
Or should we let him cook? What's the plan? So Service is down and away. He just gets a splash, maybe 2 tires. Down and away. He's going to come out ahead of Davis and Richardson. If he can get up to speed, he might be able to join Davis and Richardson. I don't know if he's going to be able to get up to speed, though. He's gotta be like nearing their speed like now. And here they go. That's a 4-car pack that's gonna blow by the 81. I don't think he's gonna have a shot. No, Max Service did not latch onto that pack.
That was a really interesting move. One that has me puzzled.
Not sure. Unless Max just said there's no way he can make it to the end. And you know what? I don't think he lost it, Cody.
He's
barely there.
it. He's actually capped the draft.
I think he has. Oh my
This
gosh,
is
he
epic.
has. He did. Oh my goodness.
I don't know
And
if we
so-
want to talk to him right now or not.
We'll let him race then. But wow. Well, now the play is if the top 3 can't save the fuel, then Max looks like the smart one.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my
we were
goodness.
questioning this.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it might work.
Well, that, if we had like a move of the race, like the Reese's Sweet move of the race or something like that, that might be it, man. He latched onto the pack when almost all hope was lost. It was make or break. If he did not latch onto the pack, he was gonna get lapped. And he latched on. And so here are the leaders. Daniel Park, headed by lapped car Joe Ruggles, leads Daniel Baldwin and Connor Cunningham. Oh, and check this out, Cody. The lap times. The last lap time ran by the top 3 leaders ran a 50.7. Dude, what is this lap? 50.8. The time ran by this pack, 48.6.
Holy, yeah, they're definitely gonna. I think they're fuel saving the top.
After fuel saving, we'll see if it works out.
It's gonna be interesting when it comes down to this. If they actually save the fuel, they could, but it's gonna be a struggle to save that much.
That may be the inner team disagreement. Maybe Max said, we can save the fuel, but we're not going to be faster than them. And so Max said he was going to go and then pit and run all out and see if he can catch back up to his teammates saving fuel. So right now, they just ran a 50.9. Almost a 51. They just ran a 48.9. So that's 2 seconds faster. A lap, they're at 31 seconds, 2 seconds a lap. They're going to be there in 5 laps to go. The only thing is if they do save the fuel, do they save enough to then pick up the pace at the end of the race? That's going to be the other question.
Now, Service at the back, he's just trying to help them all get there. I don't think he's trying to ruffle their feathers. He just wants to try and get back to the front.
I think he wants to be there when they play.
Yeah, every lap they're getting 2 seconds on them. Like you were saying.
Yeah, and they just ran a 48.2 last lap. My goodness. They are 2.5 seconds faster than the leaders. The downside in this pack, the only negative is Troy Techmeyer will not be able to make it on fuel at this pace. So Techmeyer will be out of it, but Jay King should be fine. And Service and the top 2 in this pack. Leaders, here they are. And we'll just ride on board. You'll listen to the engine sound for those at home. Just hear how much RPM these guys. Look at how slow they are. 169. Halfway down the trial.
Slow here.
That is slow. And we'll transition to the other pack here. I mean, they are full song. You can easily hear the difference for those viewers at home. I mean, they are full song.
So I can hear in-car audio. I'm just going to let you know. And the group that's in the back, they're thinking that they can get there if they keep this pace up.
Oh, the driver audio is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. The way they're racing, and look at the gap now. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. I think Max knew what was happening here. Now, the thing for these three is they have to save enough fuel, and then have enough fuel to speed up.
Right. But I mean,
I don't know if they're going to be able to. We shall see. They save a couple laps extra of fuel. That should be enough to speed up and race. But the other negative to this is that they're going to be at a tire wear disadvantage if Davis, Richardson, Service, if they took tires, even if they took 2 tires, they're going to have a tire advantage, which typically is not an issue at Daytona. But we saw after 30 laps how Jay King was handling and how Ruggles was handling the tire wear. So that could prove pivotal towards the end of this race. I will say they have picked up the pace slightly. These guys, they picked up to 50.6 the last lap time for the top 3, but still to no avail. A 48.6, a 48.5. These guys just ran last, a 48.4. So the fuel strategy does not seem promising yet, but there is still plenty of racing to go before you write anyone off. 17 laps to go, anything can, and usually that's where anything will happen.
from what I've seen in the Summer League, anything is possible in the Summer League. So anything will be possible here. By what your calculations were, judging by the speed, they should be there with about 3 to 2 laps to go. So this will be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, last lap, Daniel Baldler ran a 50.95. Last lap, David Davis, Robert Richardson, they ran a 48.3. That is well over 2.5 seconds a lap.
I'm watching the lap times. Like
they could get there with 7 to go, maybe.
Yeah.
At this pace, it could slow down too, or the leaders could speed up.
We're just waiting to see if the leaders are gonna speed up, and probably they're playing chicken with these guys. Maybe
they have to, man. Like if they're gonna win this, they're gonna have to speed up. And they're gonna have to speed up before this group gets within like 4 seconds. If they get any closer, then they can start sniffing the draft, and then they really start if you're not lined up correctly. So if Park, Baldler, and Cunningham are saving fuel, and they have hit the fuel number, it is now at this point, do they have the extra fuel to kick an extra gear going and race the drivers who no doubt have the fuel? Davis, Richardson, and Service. Now, Techmeyer is in that pack, but Techmeyer pitted on the same lap as the leaders. Techmeyer will have to pit. There's no doubt about that. But Baldler, Cunningham, Park, they are now running 51-second lap times. 4th, 5th, and 7th are running 48.3s. That is almost 2 3/4 seconds a lap faster.
and they're almost to 11. They're just under 12 seconds now.
they can get there. They're gonna get there quick. Maybe with 10 to go. Now, I do have to say, the leaders did pick up the pace a little bit. They're in a 50.4 last lap. That is their fastest lap in the last 20 laps. And the leaders, or sorry, excuse me, second pack ran a 48.5.
Under 10, well, under 11 seconds now. Just when we thought service was not making the right call.
Right.
And we wanted to ask him, he came out and proved us wrong.
See, now the leaders have picked up the pace. The leaders have picked up the pace. But they're not organized. And so they're still getting caught by a quick rate of speed. And so the leaders now, they have to get organized. If they have the fuel now to pick up the pace and race, they have to get organized now.
They sure do.
Because these two-car tandems are not going to be enough to upset the 5-6 car pack. Five car pack back here. They're closing the gap, but they're gonna have to quicker than this. I think they're ready to race. They're gonna have to be anyway. 11 laps to go. 50.3 is the leader's lap time. Still 2 seconds a lap slower.
Davis and Richardson. Oh, their times they're catching them.
Yes, they are.
At an alarming rate too. Oh, I think the leaders are picking time up now. Well, no, they're not.
They picked up the pace, but they're not organized, and so they're not gaining enough time to offset it. So now they're running full song, and there's no point. Dan Park is pulling away now from Baldwin and Cunningham. And so the strategy now falling apart at the seams. 10 laps to go. And the top three cannot get on the same page. Techmeyer, big shoves now to the back end of the 5 of Richardson. That almost put him under the yellow line. That did put him under the yellow line, excuse me. 9 laps to go.
There.
Yeah.
With this, within this lap.
I'll give it 2 laps, but yeah, they're gonna be there. Now, Baller and Cunningham have picked it up. Now they're picking it up. They're at 49s, but is it too little, too late? They have dumped Joe Ruggles, and they're gonna have to cook now. Ruggles is gonna have to get in behind, and Ruggles is gonna have to be a team player and keep Cunningham close to Baldler for this to work. This might be too little, too late. 2 seconds is the deficit for the leaders to 4th place. 1.7 seconds, the deficit. And the second package just ran a 47.7.
That's impressive.
That might be. No, Daniel Baldwin has the fastest lap of the day. But they nearly beat Daniel Baldwin's lap time on that. And they are here now. It is now heads up racing. 8 laps to go. The field is back together. Does Daniel Park, does Daniel Butler, does Connor Cunningham have the fuel to live Here comes David Davis, Robert Richardson, and Troy Techmeyer alive. The outside, 7 laps to go from the virtual World Center of Racing now. Park up the track, no match for the 11. David Davis to the lead.
They came back from 36 seconds.
They sure did. Fastest lap of the day goes to the 11 of David Davis. And it's a race now. Park now with the nose ahead center of 3 and 4. Everyone's nose to tail. Everyone's here racing. Davis gets to lap 6 laps to go. Big run now, Baldler. Yeah, service is there. Can he get to the inside? Can he get there and push forward? Ruggles. I think they need to get more organized on the inside if they're going to have any chance to go against the outside now. It is 4 cars lined up nose to tail, both lanes down. Techmeyer in the wall. Techmeyer, remember, he's got the oldest tires and the lightest fuel tank in the field right now. Troy Techmeyer.
Park went up to the top to block.
And that allows Daniel Baldler now to go to the lead. So Baldler takes the point. Park now trying to play the outside lane game. 5 laps to go. What's the call now? Does the 11 push the 7 out front and leave him? He's going to the middle. 3 wide. Park is getting left out to dry. Baldler up high now, 3 wide behind. The 11 shoving the 6. Park going back. Baldler down low, now in front of the 78 of Cunningham. The Summer Series champ is up to 2nd. Troy Techmeyer hits the pit lane. Daniel Baldler now 4 laps to go. Heading the field. Cunningham hot in pursuit right on the rear end of the 6 machine. Davis, Richardson now losing a little steam. Are they packing up for the final push to the checkers? The 96 of Ruggles drops out of line. He understands that this is a battle for a race win. This time by 3 laps to go from the virtual World Center of Racing. Davis up high, Baldler down low. 3 laps to go, 7.5 miles to settle it. Davis to the point now.
Davis and 5, they work well together. So this is going to be interesting to see how this race ends.
It certainly will be. They get a little broken up now. No other help to that outside lane. Now can Service and Cunningham keep nose to tail. Park down there. The Park Brothers trio is there on the inside behind the 6 of Baldler. This time by 2 laps to go from the Daytona International Speedway on the iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations platform. Baldler with the nose ahead. Side by side on a turn 4, 2 laps to go. Davis leads another lap. Baldler and Cunningham now powering up. Can Service and Park get there and make their mark on this finish? Very, very efficient pushing on the high side from Richardson to Davis. Davis was clear to bottom, but he stays up high. He stays loyal to the 5. Big run to the center now. Cunningham, Baldler nose to down the bottom. Davis and Richardson up high. Penultimate time to the tri-oval. 1 lap to go from Daytona. Baldler with the nose ahead at the stripe. Techmeyer does the respectful thing, drops out of the way, push gone wrong for Baldler, and around goes Cunningham. Cunningham and Service come together. It's the final lap. It's Davis, Richardson, and Daniel Park on the back straightaway. Does anyone have anything for the 11? The final time to turns 3 and 4. Does Richardson now jump up high and try to take this race away? He'll file in behind the 11 to the stripe. It is going to be David Davis winning on debut here in the Speed Racing Network Steel Design and Graphics Series.
That was a great race.
You said it, Cody. They came back from nearly 40 seconds back.
That was a great race.
I think he's out of fuel. He has it in neutral.
Yeah, he's being pushed.
But David Davis, on debut, goes to victory lane tonight at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Teammate Robert Richardson pushes him through the infield grass. And that is where the car comes to rest for that number 11 machine. We'll take the time now to interview our race winner, should they be available. Don't see them. Or second place finisher, the 5. So we await their presence. We can at least talk to our third place finisher, driver of the number 7 in Daniel Park. Should we not get the chance to talk to our top 2 drivers. And I guess we will go ahead and do that now. Have the opportunity to talk to
David Davis.
Oh, did he pop in? He is there.
Yes.
All right.
This will be
Awesome.
interesting to talk to the different pack views for that last pit. Like that last half.
We'll go ahead and do it now. They came back from nearly 40 seconds back. The driver of the number 11 winning on debut here in Speed Racing Network's 8th season of competition, David Davis in victory lane here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. David, how did you get it done?
Well, it was pushing from the 5 car, Robert. He got into me last race of last year, and we had a good team meeting over the off season, and we kind of got grouped together and we made it happen.
Walk us through that strategy. You guys knew that you were on the back foot when you stayed out on the one and only caution of the day. No one knew that that was going to be the only caution of the day, but so be it. You stayed out. You found yourself at a 9-lap fuel disadvantage. How did you make it work in your favor?
We realized we screwed up is what happened. And we knew that we wanted to stay in front of the pack for just in case there was another caution. We weren't fighting for the lucky dog. And then Robert had the suggestion, let's pit early. That way we're not pulling them around. and they had to use their own fuel, and then we could hammer hard and hopefully catch back up. We ran into a couple lap guys that kind of joined us, and then Troy was on board, and we were able to catch all back up.
Ultimately, did you know that it was going to work, or when did you know that it was going to work?
With about 15 to go, we were doing the math of how quick we were catching them. We figured we could catch them, but we knew it would be tight. It was close. I actually ran out of fuel turn 1 after the finish line. That's why Robert had to push me to the winner's circle.
We saw that, and so perfectly calculated in terms of the fuel department for the 11 machine. Well, you are 1 of 1 on the season, David. Next up is Iowa, completely different monster to what we got here at Daytona. What say you about your chances at Iowa? What you say about the track, and ultimately how you're feeling going into Iowa now that you are a winner this season?
Well, hopefully, it's only downhill from here, right? So hopefully do some pretty good there. Iowa, I think we're pretty decent at. So I'm excited for the season. I like the cars, and hopefully we do pretty good.
But there you are, driver of the number 11, David Davis, our race winner tonight here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. 1 of 1 on the season for the 11 machine. Best luck to you next week at Iowa, David. Hopefully we're talking to you then.
Yep, thank you, sir. Enjoy.
And that was our race winner of the season opener tonight, David Davis of the 11 machine. Cody, you'll be standing by for our second place finisher, driver of the number 5, the one who had his back all the way to the checkers then, Robert Richardson. Cody?
You got Robert here.
Yeah, it's Cody speaking to you. Great run, by the way, Robert, tonight.
Thank you.
So, you guys had that pit stop at the end, and you guys all lined up. Did you guys even think when you were 40-something back that you would catch them as quick as, like, that you would catch them? Sorry.
Well, I knew our only shot was to pit early and give us as many laps as possible, because otherwise, I told David, we were just dragging them around the track. So the only shot we had was to pit with like 30-some to go, and then luckily we got a couple guys that tag along, and he made a group of 4 or 5 there, and that gave us a real good shot at catching them.
Yeah, we in the booth we were calculating when the seconds going down. We were like, maybe they'll catch them with like 7 to go, and then we kept going down further, and we're like, no, they're going to catch them with like 9, 10 to go. Did you guys think that was possible?
I knew we were catching them at a rate of 2 seconds a lap based on what the spotter was saying. So, I was just telling the guys that are following us, I was like, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to catch them. No problem.
Did you at all think that you wanted to pass for the lead on the last lap, or were you just committed that whole time?
I'd already committed. I told him I was pushing him to the win when we caught him. So I just stayed true to what I told him.
Well, awesome run, Robert. Is there anyone you want to thank tonight for our sponsors or anything?
I just thank my wife for putting up with me at this crazy hobby.
That's awesome. If Emerson, do you have anything you want to ask or anything?
Just Robert, heading into Iowa next week. What are your thoughts?
Well, unfortunately, I'm headed out of town next Tuesday, so I'm probably going to have to miss it. But I do love Iowa, so I'm pretty disappointed.
There you are. Well, hopefully we didn't see you for the next round after that. I believe Chicagoland one after that, if you make it back then. Nonetheless, Robert, congratulations on your second place finish tonight. Best luck to you going forward.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks for a good race.
There you are, driver of the number 5, our second place finisher tonight, driver of the number 5, Robert Richardson. We'll bring in now third place finisher tonight, driver of the number 7 machine, Daniel Park. And Dan, a lot of chaos there in the last lap, but ultimately that strategy, not sure how it was going to work out. And then you guys picked up the power late. What say you about how everything worked out?
Oh, it might have worked out if we had more than just the 3 of us trying. Max was going to, but he realized he was 2 laps short and he wasn't going to be able to save it. So we lost our 4th. Made it more entertaining for us because we were still going super, super slow.
We noticed you were going super, super slow.
I was using Joe Ruggles to my advantage.
So you played the card, right? It was kind of what you fell into. You're gonna save. At what point did you know you had enough to make it to the end? Is there maybe any thought maybe you could have picked it up sooner to maybe contend a little earlier, or was when you picked it up the like last moment you had to really save fuel, make it to the checkers?
I still ran out coming off of 4.
Oh man.
Battler ran out entering 1 or coming off of 2, which is what caused the melee
Oh,
because he
my
ran out of fuel
goodness.
and checked everybody up.
That
So
gives a little insight
the
to that,
three
if
of
I'm
us
not
were
correct.
definitely cutting it super close. I think the only one of us that was actually good was Connor.
Oh man. Well, Dan, you've
And
steadily
he
continued
and he
to.
happened to be right behind Bottler. So
Yeah, did see that. You continue to make strides here in SRN, Dan. What's he going into this season now? With a nice third place finish to start things off this season. What's in store for the 7 car and coming up next? The next race specifically is Iowa. What say you about that?
my goal for this season is just to put the 7 in victory lane. I just want my first career win.
Yeah,
That is what I want. I've
we're with you here.
ran top 5 so many times and I just don't have a win.
Fair enough, Dan. Can you foresee that happening this season? Ultimately, obviously, you want to make that happen. Do you see it in yourself?
I do. So towards the end of last season, the start of this one, I've seen myself getting more consistent and being able to run up front and stay up front and not destroy my tires and drop to the rear like I used to. But I just got to put together the races and I'll be up there.
Fair enough. Well, Dan, congratulations on your third place finish and a win in fantasy this week. Congratulations on that podium and going forward here. Best luck to you, man.
Yeah, I do have to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. It's always fun to watch the broadcast back. Michael Steele for the amazing paint, because if you didn't notice, there's now my name is not on the car anymore. I lost my father not that long ago, so his name will be riding on my car the entire season.
I am so sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate it. All of my races definitely go to him, and my grandma's on the door, so
Hopefully, Trading Paints works with us next week, because it did not come up. But if you're sporting it all season or at least something similar, we'll for sure give it that shout out when we can.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations once again, and best luck to you going forward, man.
Yep, thank you.
And that was our third place finisher, driver of the number 7 in Daniel Park. And we'll go ahead and take this moment real quick, and we will take a look at that final lap, that incident and everything that happened. Now there's a little bit of insight to it as well, Cody. That there was the baller running out of fuel on the final lap. That is a huge piece of the puzzle. Kind of just shocked that they kind of wrecked out of nowhere, kind of like a Daytona thing where you wreck on the final lap, I guess. But here we go with the replay. See right there, Baller out of fuel, Cunningham into the rear end of the 6, and kind of from there, it was on Baller onto the apron, trying to hold on to it. At this point, he's trying to get out of the way, but unfortunately collects Cunningham, and they block the road at that point for Service and Park. Park driving through V81, his teammate trying to get through it, but Service unfortunately catches Cunningham. Park goes up the track, and then Baldler gets spun up the track. Excuse me, Cunningham gets spun up the track as well. Spins off, and ultimately that is where Vatrek ended up. Cunningham finishes down in that 5th position. I guess that gives us the chance to talk about where everyone came to the checkers tonight here in tonight's 100 lap showdown. And so here is your race results. David Davis, the race winner tonight here in the number 11 machine, winning overall here at Daytona. Robert Richardson will finish in the second position. Dan Park then finishes in third. Max Service in fourth. Connor Cunningham finishes fifth. Daniel Baldler is the last car on the lead lap in sixth. Troy Techmeyer 1 lap down in seventh. Cody?
Eighth was Joe Ruggles Jr. Ninth was Jay King. 10th was Jason Green. 11th was Andrew Harris. 12th was Matthew Greathouse. If I said that wrong, I apologize. 13th is Matthew Cornell, rounding out the field.
There you are. And of course, got to give a shout out to our partners here at Speed Racing Network. We have the new partner on board this season, Zozo's Miniatures, a home-based hobby and craft business that brings the small world to the big stage. Zozo's Miniatures include handcrafted, homemade-to-scale such items as fully furnished dollhouses for display or play, dollhouse kits from base-level houses to ready-to-furnish, and dollhouse furnishings, custom jewelry, 3D printing services, laser cutting, etching services, and custom seasonal decor. You can check them out and feel free to drop a message for any special inquiries at www.zozosminiatures.etsy.com and Instagram. Make sure you use offer code iRacing for 20% off of your purchase. Want to, of course, shout out returning partners to the series in Premier Racing Setups. Of course, Premier Racing Setups now joining us for the second straight season in a row. And for Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Established in 2016, they offer many different options to help take your sim racing career to the highest levels of iRacing. With over 50,000 customers worldwide, they have got the tools you need to compete with the best sim racers iRacing has to offer. Make sure to use code SpeedNetwork15 to save 15% off of your order. And of course, shout out to ThermoPro. ThermoPro produces the best wireless meat thermometers and digital hygrometers for household use. Before establishing their brand, ThermoPro supplied some of the largest brands you see on the market today. Working behind the scenes as the manufacturer, now providing customers with top quality products at a very competitive price without sacrificing functionality or quality. Use code ThermoProTeam to save 15% off of your order. While you're out there, guys, why don't you take a look at the Speed Racing Network YouTube membership. Now the race is streamed exclusively on YouTube. You can now become a Speed Racing Network premium member today. For $4.99 a month, you get access to loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers, photos, early access to new content, member shoutouts, members-only live chats, priority reply to comments, and to join today, you can click that join button next to the subscribe button down below. And of course, a shout out to all of the Speed Racing Network social media outlets. Our Facebook page at facebook.com/Speed Racing Network. Our X page at x.com/SpeedRacingNet. Instagram at Speed Racing Network. Our YouTube at youtube.com/Speed Racing Network. Our Twitch at twitch.tv/SpeedRacingNet. We have the company LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/Speed Racing Network. And of course, the website we can keep up with everything SRN in terms of news, schedules, points, and all the like is waiting for you at speedracingnetwork.com. Well, Cody, first round on the season comes to a close tonight here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. 13 entrants, a lap 7 caution, strategic chaos, all towards the checkers leads to a first-time winner. What say you?
It was at the start of the night. It went amazed. Like it was like, what are we going to see? Because there's 13 cars, and then after that lap 7 caution, and then the late pit stop, and then Service getting a pit stop on his own and coming out with the pack at the back, and to make it from 40 seconds to the front with like 10 to go. Like, it was amazing. This whole race was amazing. And I hope people who've watched it realize that it's not easy getting around here and getting 40 seconds back. So tonight was amazing. I hope this whole season's amazing, and we'll be here for the whole season.
That we will. I want to say that'll do it for us here from Daytona. Thank you all so much for tuning in for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Join us next Tuesday night as the Speed Racing Network's Steel Graphics and Design series heads to the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa for round 2 of 12 on the season. From all of us here at Speed Racing Network, Cody and myself, Emerson Arden, thank you all so much for watching.